Okay, here as promised, right back with our new tool review. As you can see, let me do this real quick because I got you on the tripod and it won't let me zoom out. Haven't even opened it, just came not even 10 minutes ago. So let's see what we got in the box as far as goodies. I need to go find my knife. Never mind, we'll just use a key. We're not going to edit none of this either because we're not worried about editing. We're just as real as it comes. I think most people should be. So we used a key. Bang, bang. We're popping boxes. Let's see what we got today, folks. Brand new tool review. Pull out all the paper shit here. We will pull out the box inside the box. And then we have a paper. Let's get rid of that so we don't show. Maybe we have to edit that part out because of the old blur. And what we have purchased now is, this may be backwards because I got you on my reverse camera so I can you know, see what I'm recording because I'm doing this on my own. So this may be reversed, but this is the MaxiScope mp408 is what this is. It's 4-channel scope. There's plenty of reviews, people showing waveforms and stuff. I'm not doing this review as far as to further anything knowledge-wise that you're not going to already find. I'm doing this as this is our new tool. We will be having many videos of using this because I have a lot of electric automotive stuff that people bring to me. It's something I'm trying to specialize in as I further, like I said before, when I was in high school, you didn't need, I mean, you had these, they would sit on a counter, they were a big box, and you could use them. But, you know, cars weren't so complex when I was in high school. I'm still of that age where through the 80s, you know, early 90s when I grew up, you know, I was still working on 70s, 80s cars a lot with my dad, and there wasn't nothing but OBD1 at a certain point, and that was very minimal. So working on a car was usually by feel and sound. Now there's so much stuff in them, and they're so tuned that sometimes it's hard to hear something. So these oscilloscopes, or I call it an oscilloscope. I think it's called an oscilloscope, but they, you know, instead of having the one you put it on your ears and you gotta listen for noises and ticks and tings, this one is the digital version. Hooks to the it's gonna hook to my MS906TS scanner, and it's gonna tell us a bunch of information. So we're just doing an unboxing today, just like many people have done. I want to do it for our channel though, just for video, have content, and mainly not to talk too much about what it is or what it does, because there's a lot of that out there. But I just want to show, did it come, because this was delivered from regular mail through eBay. That's where I bought it. They're $300 right now, which is pretty fair considering they're normally $400. No nicks, dings, no scratches. Seems pretty much in shape. This version, I'm not exactly sure everything it came with. It came with the spark plug adapter for testing spark plugs, which I wasn't really expecting. This is for the hook to your tablet. It came with attenuators, two 20-to-1 attenuators. Okay. Came with, oh fancy, came with the injector testing lead. This is for injectors. From one of the videos I watched, I guess it's most injectors are similar to Bosch or another type of injector. Anyhow, I guess one end is for one another or whatnot. Somehow you can attach it. I'll get into videos as I learn about that. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 stackable banana leads. There's a video on YouTube about that as well. And like I said, I'll be doing more just videos review as I use it, because I will be using this quite often, like most techs do. And this is just an entry level to intermediate level scope. This isn't like the Pico. It's not the highest end, you know. But for $300 versus $2,500, it outbeats the price. And it's, from all the reviews, it has the same waveforms. It's just as good. Might not have as many functions on the actual screen like the application for it, but it'll get you done. Gator clamps, they'll hook to the end of the leads. They give you 2 leads, some small gator clamps with already attached lead, and probes, 4 probes with extra tips. Not a bad kit for $300. When I first looked at it, it was at $400, and as I was taught, I just remained very patient when I was wanting to buy this tool. And I watched it, waited for a price drop. It dropped all the way down to $300 on eBay, and I couldn't find any better, especially at the moment when I really need this, because when I'm done doing my engine install, transmission install, and front end work, eventually when all the technical stuff's done, I'm going to be testing my work from the gate to make sure it's properly installed. If you're going to do any sort of tranny swaps, motor swaps, anything like that, I highly suggest you buy this scope if you can't afford a $1,200 scope. Pico scope with 1 to 2 leads, I believe, is like $1,200. A 4 lead like this would probably be roughly about $2,500. The other thing I highly suggest is you buy a visual inspection camera with a 3-foot, snake lead. I own a very cheap rigid one. Autel makes one that'll hook to your tablet so you can have a bigger screen visual. Plus it records and it does a lot more. I'm eventually going to be looking into getting theirs. But for now, because when you do engines, if you're not very careful before you put on your intake manifold, you should have a camera to inspect all the ports to make sure nothing's gotten dropped in there, nothing by any chance. Make sure they're all clear. Because if anything's in there and you ruin that motor, you could be in a jam where, I'm very meticulous, but the other day I had a situation where an engine I did got a very minute, small amount of metal particles in it. We're not exactly sure if it was a washer or what it was. We sent it off to an engine shop to be inspected, because we were trying to see if it was on our end or the end of the people who built the long block, but we couldn't prove either or, so we just chalked it off, ate the bullet, and it's a hard lesson to learn, but sometimes in this life you gotta learn the hard way. So no more learning the hard way. We got plenty of more extra tools. We already did the review on the inspection camera once before for you guys, and it's really not that crazy to work on your own car. And we're going to do a massive video to show you guys in detail it's going to be how to fix your own car. Like, do you want to go out and buy like for in my case, I bought my truck, per se, I paid $9 grand for it when it blue booked at 6. Now blue book on it is up to roughly 13 to 15 in good shape. But with it broke down, I can't sell it for nothing because it has too many problems. And nonetheless, I don't want to sell my rig. I'm keeping it for the rest of my life. I don't like all the new trucks. Plus, you don't get long beds anymore from Chevy with a 4-door unless you custom order a long bed, because a lot of people nowadays don't want the extra really long truck. But because I haul a lot of tools, I need that. And it's no longer beneficial for me. I'm roughly going to be $26,000 in on this truck. That includes with the purchasing of it and the purchasing of parts and whatnot. So anyhow, but nowadays used trucks are roughly 15 to 20 grand anyway, and a new truck is 50 to 70. So, you know, when your truck breaks down, do you drop 10K in it, get your own transmission, your own long block? Do you fix it for 10, or do you go out and buy it, sell it for whatever you can get, part it out, which maybe you don't get much out of it, and then you're into having to buy another used truck for 20, or a new truck for $40,000 to $80,000 nowadays. Nowadays, the whole theory is if it breaks, just get a new one with a lot of the new generations, but that's gonna fail because the cost of things is becoming so high, especially with cars. It's no longer cost effective to just keep buying new vehicles and scrapping your old ones. As much as people want to say that they can afford it, it's just not worth it. That's why I'm fixing my rig. And this is the new tool review. This is the autel. It's the, mp408. I got to register mine through the autel company with my scan tablet. We're going to put it to use starting either today or tomorrow on a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a 2000, that we're having crankshaft position issues that were supposedly troubleshot but aren't. We also have, it's due to poor repairs on it. Honestly, sometimes you run into mechanics that don't do the greatest repairs to vehicles, and it leads people to having more of a headache than it's worth. And then some people, like in my family, my uncle, who I'm working on the Jeep for, we can't really afford to put out 50, 60 grand to buy a new car all the time. We can, but we pick and choose which vehicles or whose vehicle we want to be new, because if you're smart, you have a really good vehicle that's your traveling vehicle, you go on vacation, you do things in, and then you have, like, I have a work rig, but we don't usually drive it out of town, because it's old and it sucks up a lot more gas than my wife's, Suburban. So we have the 99 K3500 7.4 liter, you know, Silverado that I run with for work. But then we have my wife's 2018, you know, Chevy Suburban that has the V8, but it has a motor that is really tricked, because what it does is it will shift to where you're only using 4 cylinders unless it needs the 8 cylinders. So it's integrated with a motor that runs V4 when you're in a cruising speed or whatnot, idle, and then it runs V8 when you rev it up to get that power. And that is our travel vehicle. That is our gas saver that we use to go places. It fits our family nice, you know, lots of space, and it gets the same or better gas mileage than my wife's old Honda Pilot that we had. That's it for this video. We're pushing 16 minutes. I will start another video when we start doing some repairs, testing, and stuff. And we will be more consistent as far as our content for you guys who do follow. I believe we have 8 subscribers, and you know, we're not here to get rich. We're here to try and help people learn automotive repair, to fix their own car, to save money, and B, we will be doing some more tattoo videos, as I am a tattoo artist as well. Been a tattoo artist of 18 years. I run 1 expensive machine, 2 cheap ones, and I do really decent work. I get, you know, plenty of work there. And we'll start shooting some videos on tattoo techniques, the way I tattoo, because not everybody tattoos the same anymore these days. And I believe that it's beneficial for people to learn nowadays from the internet, because more people are learning that way than from school. Another thing I want to point out is on this kit, you get these leads, but you don't get the long leads that you hook in there, you know, and you can like push it to like reach into places. So you would have to buy those. I'm not exactly sure what the specific name is. You'd have to buy those though as an extra cost to this kit. Alright, you guys have a good day, and we're going to cut this off so the download isn't as long.